What's going on, everybody? RJ Ochoa here from SB Nation's bloggingtheboys.com. Hope all is well wherever you are. Hope you're happy, safe, healthy, and that not Victory Polo Monday treated you as kindly as it could. The Dallas Cowboys are losers. In a literal sense, they lost their game on Sunday to the Denver Broncos, and we are all pretty upset about it. I talk about the Dallas Cowboys each and every single day here on the Blog on the Boys YouTube channel, so go ahead and subscribe, por favor. I even have a Spanish show that I do each and every single week. Comes out on Saturdays, Dallas Cowboys in Espanol. But between every single Saturday, you got all sorts of nonstop videos, live shows, post-game shows, interviews, discussing, assessing, analyzing, evaluating the Dallas Cowboys. If you want to hang out with me on social media, I'm on X, Instagram, Threads at RJ Ochoa, TikTok, RJ.Ochoa. Go like my Facebook page, wherever you are on the internet. I promise you I'm there talking Cowboys and talking golf. I also cover golf here at SB Nation, and the link to my personal YouTube channel, it's the Blog on the Boys YouTube channel, is down in the description below, along with the links to all my social profiles. And if you are a golf fan, on Monday, I had a chance to speak to Minwoo Lee. It was very fun. Minwoo is super fun and super awesome. We talked about the Bay Golf Club, Minwoo's TGL team, and getting his first win on PGA Tour, the PGA Tour last year, this past season, not last year. I've had a lot of coffee today. My mind is all over the place, and my heart is broken because the football team I love hates me and hates all of us. Look, I think that Monday, I'm putting this together late Monday afternoon, Monday evening. Maybe you're going to watch it Monday evening, Monday night, Tuesday morning. I don't know, obviously. But I think that the reason Monday was so sobering for Cowboys fans, because it was different, right? This, at least from my perspective, Monday's dealing with the lost energy was different than it had been at any point, throughout this season following any of the other three losses. This was the fourth loss of the year for the Cowboys. And I think the case for that is we said going into the Denver game that the Broncos were a litmus test for the Cowboys. And that wasn't making something bigger than it was. That wasn't making the game something that it wasn't. That was just the reality. The Broncos presented a chance, an opportunity for the Dallas Cowboys to prove to themselves, to us, to the NFL, to whoever you want to say, to prove that they were for real, to go to play one of the best teams in the NFL, and that they couldn't even hang with them is so sobering. That they couldn't even go back and forth with them is just a really big, I know it's not a culture shock. I know that some people will say things like, oh, I knew they were this bad and whatever, but it is such a defeating thing for them to be so far away from one of the NFL's contenders. I don't think, and I mean this with all due respect to the Broncos, that anybody would say they're the best team in the NFL. So to not even be able to hang with however you want to define the Broncos, right? Top 5, top 10, whatever. We're not here to quibble about that, but that the Cowboys couldn't even hang with them remotely is such a splash of cold water on any kind of hope that we have had so far this season. And look, the Cowboys may relight that flame. They may rip off this massive win streak. Who knows? Everything is unpredictable. But right now, following the Broncos game, it is such a defeating feeling being a fan of the Dallas Cowboys, one that we are unfortunately all too familiar with. A few years ago, 5 years ago, actually, I very, very vividly recall after the Cowboys lost, I believe it was after they lost to the Cleveland Browns in 2020. And my watch was about to pick everything up that I was saying. I didn't want that to happen. You know how that thing can go. After the Cowboys, it was a loss in 2020. I think it was the Browns game. I vividly recall, and I think I've mentioned this before here on the channel. Friend of the channel, friend of mine, Dave Hellman of The Athletic, obviously formerly of DallasCowboys.com. I recall Hellman tweeting out something like, this is going to be one of those games where all the stats come out and they're going to be really bad. They're going to be really disgusting. It was something like that. I'm paraphrasing. And I tweeted out a sequence of stats. It was something about the starting field position for the Cowboys because they weren't getting any turnovers on defense, something like that. And I remember Hellman quoting it and being like, yep, here it comes. Like, here come all those stats. And I've mentioned this before, that every Monday or day after a Cowboys game, I love to dive into StatHead and Pro Football Reference and just kind of compare things and look at Cowboys history, NFL history, and see how things ultimately look. And it's a lot of fun when the Cowboys win, right? It was a ton of fun last week after they beat the crap out of Washington. It is not fun right now. The numbers you're about to see are going to offend you. deeply. So I'm going to apologize right here, right now, and caution you about what we're about to experience together. If you want to put on a hazmat suit, that's up to you. But let's go ahead and begin. So this here is a list of all of the teams in NFL history. What you're looking at is a list of 15 teams. These are, prior to Monday Night Football, to be clear here, these are the 15 teams in NFL history who allowed at least 250 points and 3,200 yards, total yards against them through the first 8 games of their respective seasons. Like, this is all of NFL history. You can see that's not the New York Yankees there at the bottom in 1951. That's how old the NFL is and how old some teams are. There are 15 teams, therefore 15 defenses who have done this. The Dallas Cowboys here in 2025 and the Cincinnati Bengals here in 2025. It's amazing that 2 teams from the same year, although that did happen in 2018, as you can see. But the 2025 Dallas Cowboys are one of them. We're not exaggerating. We're not being dramatic. We're not making things up. We're not being silly. This Dallas Cowboys defense, through the first 8 games of their season, is quite literally one of the worst defenses to ever live. One of the worst defenses to ever play football at a professional level, if you still feel like you can call this that. They are literally among the very, very, very worst defenses to ever play this game. It is really hard to believe. It's difficult to be this bad, as exemplified by the fact that there are only 15 teams on this list. I mean, it's treacherous, right? Because you don't know who to blame. It becomes a cycle of blame. It becomes just like whatever. It's this, I don't even want to say a slippery slope. It's frustrating. Now, let's keep looking here. I promised you these would offend you. These would bother you. This loss on Sunday, the Cowboys obviously lost to the Denver Broncos on Sunday. This was the 5th time this season that the Cowboys defense surrendered 30 points. It was way more than 30, and 385 total yards. It was way more than that, but still the 5th time that they've met that threshold so far this season. What you're looking at are the totals from those seasons. So in 2013, which was one of the worst defenses in Dallas Cowboys franchise history, they allowed this phenomenon to happen 7 different times. The 2025 Dallas Cowboys, the current team that's only played 8 games in a 17-game regular season, they have already allowed this to happen 5 times. They have only played 8 games. This means of the 8 games in which the Dallas Cowboys have played so far this season, 5 different times, they have allowed at least 30 points and at least 385 total yards against them. They are going to smash this franchise record when it's all said and done. It's unbelievable. I mean, they're not just in company with the worst defenses in franchise history. They are about to lap them like they are Max Verstappen in the peak days of Red Bull. I mean, this is an atrocity what we are watching on defense from the 2025 Dallas Cowboys. And look, I mean, it doesn't get any better. All right. Like this stat is somewhat similar, but it is perhaps more depressing. All right. So let's look at this here. Let's look at it all together. On Sunday, Denver Broncos quarterback Bo Nix threw 4 touchdowns against the Dallas Cowboys. All right. Now, 4 is more than 3. So what you're looking at here is actually with a minimum requirement of 3. 5 times on 5 different occasions so far this season, the Cowboys have seen an opposing quarterback throw a hat trick's worth of touchdowns against them. Again, sometimes it's been more than that, exemplified by Bo Nix on Sunday. That is already tied for the second most instances in an entire season in Dallas Cowboys franchise history. As bad as the 2013 Dallas Cowboys were, in a time where the regular season was only 16 games long, it only happened to them 6 times. Same goes for the 2020 team that we make jokes about and compare this team to all the time. This team in 2025, with 9 games remaining, more than they have already played somehow, which just is completely and totally independent of mercy for all of us. All right. This team is already tied for the second most instances of an opposing quarterback throwing a hat trick's worth of touchdowns. That is going to happen. We are going to see another quarterback throw for 3 touchdowns against the Cowboys. We're probably going to see at least 2 more do it and reach Monica Geller's number 7, probably 3 more, probably 4 more. They might hit 10. I mean, this has happened to the Cowboys defense 5 times in 8 games. It's not 6 times in 16 games like 2013 or 2020. No. It is 5 times in 8 games. The level of statistical, objective data display is a pure and total sequence of indictments against the 2025 Dallas Cowboys over and over and over again, week after week after week. It doesn't change. It just somehow only gets worse. So look, I mean, I don't know what to do about this. I don't think that any of us believe that a trade fixes all this. I don't think any of us believe that that everything gets better, that everything gets hunky dory, that everything is magically fixed, because this information that we've gone over here together, this is like as bad as it can possibly be. And Dak Prescott on the offense, they may have another game where they're perfect. They may have another game where they put up 40 points. They may do it again, but it probably won't be enough, right? Like it probably won't be. I think we can all understand that. And that's exemplified by this. So let me put this up on your screen. One more. I clicked the wrong thing. And here we go. We're back in business. Okay. So this is a list so far, and this is before Monday Night Football, just to be very clear here, because this could happen on Monday night and this, could get wonky, but you get my point. Prior to Monday Night Football on October 27th, there are no, this isn't it. This was not the point, the list I was looking for here. Let me see. I confused myself. This is the list I was looking for here. Okay, so prior to Monday Night Football, and I'll actually move myself over here so you can, there we go. Prior to Monday Night Football, there were 11 instances across the entire NFL in 2025 of an offense having 40 points or more and 400 total yards or more. Again, those minimum thresholds. Of those 11 instances prior to Week 8's Monday night game, and at this moment in time, I don't know if it's going to happen. It could, but the maximum number here could be 13. Prior to Monday Night Football, the Cowboys offense, as you can see, has done it 3 times. 3 of the 11 instances so far this season where an offense has reached 40 points and 400 total yards, the Dallas Cowboys offense has been the one doing it. But the Dallas Cowboys defense has allowed the phenomenon to happen to them twice as well. I mean, and look at the games in which the Cowboys did it. These are all, you're looking from the offense's perspective here. So all of them wins. Like look at the top, the Buffalo Bills, they got that win, obviously. And you scroll, you go left to right, left to right, left to right. The only team who has a tie, obviously, are the Packers and the Cowboys, but you've got the Ravens who lost that game to Buffalo. And so, I mean, the Cowboys are in company with a Ravens team here right now, which normally would be a good thing, but these are teams that are finding ways to squander some fantastic performances. And the whole NFL world killed the Ravens for losing that game to Buffalo, the same way that everybody should be looking at the Cowboys. I know we were grateful to see Dallas get that tie against Green Bay, but that should have been a win, even though Green Bay's offense had an amazing night as well. It's just, it's alarming. It shouldn't be possible. I mean, you're looking at, again, one of the statistics that we referenced here went all the way back to 1951. I mean, it's just, you should never, ever, ever, ever be in that kind of company, yet somehow, some way the Dallas Cowboys are. I really don't know anything else to add. It's a really frustrating thing to watch this team squander over and over and over and over again. And I know we're all sick of it. I know we're all tired, but that's the Dallas Cowboys way. Look, I know we've been extremely negative here, but I do want to end on a positive. Last week, we started doing something. We're going to be doing it each and every single week, thanks to my friends at Classic Cowboy. My Classic Cowboy, as you can see here, Classic Cowboy makes these amazing hats. You see Dak Prescott wearing them all the time. Classic Cowboy absolutely rules. My Classic Cowboy moment of the game for the Cowboys against the Denver Broncos, not that there was a lot to choose from, is actually 2 moments merged together. Javonte Williams getting 2 touchdowns against his former team. Look, I know we're all really mad. I know we're all frustrated with the way the Cowboys played, but it was very cool to see Javonte Williams get those 2 moments. And so I'm very, very, very happy for Javonte Williams. I'm very hopeful that the Cowboys will figure out how to continue to have success with him as we move further and further and further into this season. But a big shout out to my Classic Cowboy moment of the week, the Dallas Cowboys last week, which was actually 2. Javonte Williams scoring 2 times on the road against his former team. I think we did it. I think we made it. I think it's time to go. I think it's time to get out of here. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your Monday or Tuesday, whenever you're watching this. Got a very busy week here on the Blog on the Boys YouTube channel. Live NFC East mixtape coming about lunchtime on Tuesday. Brandon has some scheduling stuff that we're trying to work through, but make sure to subscribe here to the channel. You'll obviously see that and all of the other videos that we're churning out. I'm on social media, X, Instagram, Threads at RJ Ochoa, TikTok, RJ.Ochoa. Email is rj.ochoa@sbnation.com. You can like my Facebook page. The links to all of these things are down in the description below. For now, my friends, I'm going to be Jew a Jew. I hope your fantasy teams all do well. I hope your bets or whatever else you got going on, your daily fantasies, I hope it all hits. I hope football season is able to deliver you some positivity in some way, shape, or form here as week 8 comes to a close. But thanks so much for hanging out, everybody, and I can't wait to see you soon enough and do it all over again. Thanks once again for your time, and we will see you next time.